Welcome to the Site Buddy Quickstart guide for jobs and reports. Today we'll walk you through how to add jobs on Site Buddy, explain why this is crucial for your projects, and show you how to use these jobs to create detailed site reports. First, let's begin by adding a new job. In Site Buddy, jobs are fundamental as they serve as the containers for all your project-related data. When you create a job, it creates a dedicated space to store your plans and other data, ensuring that reports, photos, dayworks, and any other relevant information is properly organized and associated with the respective areas of your project. This organization makes navigating through your project data straightforward and efficient. Select the Jobs page, then click on the Create a New Job button. Here, enter the job details such as the job name, client information, the expected start and end dates, and select whether you will be needing to create progress and snag reports or just snag reports. Additionally, indicate if elevations will be used. After adding a job, it's time to structure it. Begin by adding all buildings involved in the job. For each building, proceed to add the floors it contains. Should you make an error, you can easily delete items using the menu within the gear icon. Next, navigate to each floor to add the plans. You can upload plans by browsing to their location or by using the drag and drop feature on the screen, and Site Buddy will seamlessly import them. Once imported, you have the option to name each plan for easier identification. Simply select the gear icon and then choose Rename Plan. If you ever need to add a new revision of a plan in the future, you can easily do so by selecting New Revision in the same menu. If you are only using snag reports, once you have finished adding your plans for each floor, your task here is complete and you can now skip forward to the Publishing Your Job section of this video. For progress reports, however, we need to do a little more work. Click on the Edit button for one of your plans to enter edit mode. You can zoom in and out either by using the zoom buttons or scrolling with the middle mouse wheel, and navigate around by clicking and dragging. Now it's time to start adding room markers to your plans. These markers are essential to how Site Buddy functions, and their purpose will become clearer in a moment. They help track progress and present essential information in the reports you'll generate later. While this process requires some initial effort, the time invested here is invaluable and will yield significant future time savings once the project is underway. It's a good idea to complete this setup before the job's start date, ensuring everything is primed and ready when activities commence. To add a marker, double-click on each room. A dialog will appear where you can optionally enter the room code. After clicking the Create button, a marker will appear in the room. You can move and resize it as necessary. Continue this process until every room has a marker. For larger areas like corridors, consider adding multiple markers to provide comprehensive coverage. Once every area is marked, click the Save button to save your changes and move on to the next plan. When all plans are finalized, there's one more step before you can start creating reports. Navigate to the Reports tab. You'll notice that your job isn't listed yet. This is because you need to finalize the setup of your job by indicating that you are ready to generate reports for it. Return to the Jobs section and click on the Publish button for your new job. A warning will appear to confirm your action, noting that publishing is irreversible. Click I understand to proceed. Your job is now published and becomes active. On the screen, you'll see Active Jobs Usage updated to show 1 out of 5, indicating you are utilizing one of the 5 active jobs permitted by your current subscription plan. This count will decrease by 1 once the job is completed. Now, when you visit either of the report sections, your job will appear. However, it will only show up in the Progress Reports section if you chose to use progress reports when creating the job. Let's take a look at Progress Reports first. Before creating your first report, take a moment to adjust your global report settings. Here, you can add mandatory questions that are critical for your project's needs. For example, if you work with temperature-sensitive materials like adhesives, you might include a temperature check, or you may want to record the number of personnel on site. Setting these questions as mandatory ensures they are addressed at the start and end of your report and prevents you from forgetting. Once your global settings are configured, the next step is to select the job you want to report on and click the Report Settings button. These settings are unique to the specific job you've selected, unlike the global settings. Here, you can customize how this particular report will be shared. You'll decide whether it's private, making it visible only to you and your company, public, allowing anyone with the link to view it, or public with restrictions, where you can add conditions like limiting the number of views, setting an expiry date for the link, or requiring a PIN for external recipients. At the bottom, you can also add the email addresses of people who should receive this report. Once the report is published, it will automatically be sent to everyone you've specified, along with any restrictions you've set. You are now ready to create a report. Using the mobile device you'll take with you on site, open the app and navigate to your job in the Progress Report section. Select Create New Report. It's advisable to do this before arriving on site, as Site Buddy will download all necessary plans and data to your device. This enables you to complete your report offline, ensuring you are not hindered by poor internet connectivity in locations like basements, heavily constructed areas, or remote locations. You will also be prompted here to answer any mandatory questions. You can skip this for now if you like, and you will be asked again before you submit your report. Navigate to the area you wish to report on and click on the marker for that room. A dialog box will appear, prompting you to update the room's status. Initially, all areas are set to Not Started. Here you can change the status based on the current progress of the room. By default, the only statuses available are Not Started and Completed. However, you may have several stages of progress in between. For instance, if you specialize in flooring, you might first add a damp-proof membrane, later screed the floor, and finally install the finished flooring, allowing time for each phase to dry. To add a new status, click on Create New Status, enter a descriptive name, select a color for the status, and decide whether this status should apply to all jobs, meaning it will appear and be available to use in all future jobs, or just this specific one. After saving your new status, save again to apply the chosen status to the room. You will notice the color of the marker changes to reflect the new status. Continue around site, inspecting areas where work has been completed, and update the room marker statuses accordingly. Remember, when a room is fully completed, you must select the Completed status provided by Site Buddy to indicate completion. If you need to add a note during your inspection, click on the Note button. This allows you to answer your mandatory questions, include additional notes, and attach photos if needed. All notes added here will be included in your final report. If you encounter an issue that impedes progress, select the marker for the location, navigate to the Unresolved Issues tab, and click Create New Issue. Here, you can upload a photo of the issue and provide a description. You can also annotate the photo to highlight specific areas, if need be. A red circle will appear around the marker on the plan to indicate the presence of an issue. Once you are done with a plan, click the Exit button and proceed to the next. Repeat these steps for all areas and plans you intend to report on. After completing your reports, exit from the plan view and click Preview Report. If any mandatory questions were not previously answered, you'll be prompted to complete them now. Confirm your desire to preview the report. Note that after this point, you will no longer be able to change room statuses or add new issues. It's advisable to perform this final step in an area with a good internet connection, as your changes will be uploaded to the server. A preview of your report will be displayed, showcasing the report's completion date, the person who completed it, and a pie chart reflecting the overall job progress by status. The General Notes section will include your answers to the mandatory questions. The report will highlight each issue, marked by a number for easy reference on the plans. You will see a detailed breakdown of each building and floor you reported on, displaying only relevant information and plans with recorded progress to minimize clutter. Each plan includes a key of your statuses to clearly demonstrate progress, and issues are emphasized with a red circle and corresponding number. You can click on a room marker to view larger images of any issues it contains. Although you can add additional information throughout the report, you may opt to click Finish Later if you need to move on to another site. This allows you to complete the reports later from your desk, whether back at the office or at home. When you are finally finished with your report, click the Submit Report button and your report will be made available in the Reports section for the rest of the team to view. When the time comes to create your next report, the process is streamlined to ensure efficiency. Your new report will pick up right where the previous one left off, eliminating the need to duplicate efforts. Simply update any changes that have occurred since your last visit. If there are any issues from the previous report that have now been resolved, you'll need to mark them accordingly. Navigate to the room containing the issue, select the Unresolved Issues tab, and click on the Resolve Issue button. This action moves the issue to the Resolved Issues tab and removes the red marker from the plan. Continue to add any new issues and update room statuses as necessary. Once you complete these updates and preview your report, you will see that previously unresolved issues are now marked as resolved. Additionally, any day works completed since your last visit will be documented in the report. For detailed instructions on managing day works, please refer to our separate tutorial video. All reports are stored in chronological order within Site Buddy, providing you with a comprehensive archive that you can access at any time. This archive offers a detailed historical record of all activities and changes on site, ensuring you have a full overview of the project's progression. That concludes our tutorial on progress reports. Next, let's explore how to create snag reports. Navigate to the snag report section and select the site you wish to report on. As with progress reports, if this is your first report, then you need to configure your report settings by clicking on the Report Settings button. Here you can customize how this particular report will be shared. You'll decide whether it's private, making it visible only to you and your company, public, allowing anyone with the link to view it, or public with restrictions, where you can add conditions like limiting the number of views, setting an expiry date for the link, or requiring a PIN for external recipients. At the bottom, you can also add the email addresses of people who should receive this report. Once the report is published, it will automatically be sent to everyone you've specified, along with any restrictions you've set. To create a report, click the Create a New Snag Report button and confirm whether this will be your pre-completion snagging document. Next, select the plan you wish to work with. Unlike progress reports, snag reports do not include predefined room markers. To report a snag, double-click on the precise location on the plan where the issue occurred. A dialog box will appear, allowing you to enter the room name, provide a description of the snag, and upload a photo. After uploading a photo, you can annotate it by clicking the Annotate button. This feature lets you draw directly on the photo to highlight specific areas you wish to draw attention to. When you're finished, click Create. A marker will then be placed on the plan to indicate the snag's location. You can move and resize this marker for precise positioning. If you need to add additional snags in the same area, simply double-click the existing marker and select the Add Another Snag in Same Area button. Continue this process until you have completed your survey. Once finished, exit the plan view and click Preview Report to review your snag report. Here you will find a comprehensive list of all your snags, each assigned a unique reference number. These reference numbers are displayed on the plan markers, allowing you to see which markers represent which snags. By clicking on the markers on the plans, you can access information about each snag and view larger versions of the associated photographs. Similar to progress reports, you can add notes to each section of the snag report for additional details and context. At the bottom of the report, you'll also find a schedule summarizing all snags reported up until this point. When you are finished, click Submit Report to complete the report and make it available to the rest of the team. It will also be emailed to everyone you specified in your report settings. If you prefer to finish it later, click Finish Later. You can then move on to your next report and complete this one from your desktop machine when you return to the office or home. Once the report is finalized, viewers will have the option to print it in full. Additionally, a separate button is available for printing just the schedule. When creating your next snag report, you'll see your previous markers on your plans, indicating all outstanding snags. Visit each area to verify if a snag has been resolved, then click the corresponding marker and press the Resolve Snag button. The snag will be marked as completed and moved to the Resolved Snag section. Once all snags associated with a marker are resolved, the marker will turn green. A yellow marker indicates that some snags in the area have been resolved, while others remain outstanding. Additionally, you can add any new snags that have appeared since the previous report. As before, once you've finished, exit the plan view and click the Preview Report button to review your report. You will see all your new snags as well as changes to the status of resolved ones, along with an updated schedule. Similar to progress reports, all your snag reports are stored in chronological order for easy reference. After completing your first report, you'll notice the addition of a schedule page, providing a convenient summary of all snag statuses in one place. From here, you can print the schedule in either paper or PDF format, making it easy to distribute on site. When you've finished a job, you will want to free up space on your subscription for a new one. To do this, navigate to the Job section and click the Mark Job as Complete button. Please note that this action is permanent and cannot be undone. The job will be archived, meaning it can no longer be modified, but it will remain accessible for you to view for 2 years from the date it was archived. During this time, you can revisit the job and access its data as often as needed, should anything arise that requires further reference. This concludes our tutorial on managing jobs and reports with Site Buddy. We hope you found the instructions clear and useful for streamlining your project management tasks. Thank you for choosing Site Buddy to support your project management needs. For more information or further assistance, please check out our other tutorial videos or contact our support team.